This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, it's been an uphill battle, but there's a glimmer of hope in the campaign to restore Baldwin Street's world record. Oscar-winning director and explorer James Cameron made a flying visit to Dunedin this weekend. And a festival in Dunedin's Northeast Valley celebrates the beauty of Lindsay Creek. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Simon Anderson. It's been an uphill battle, but there's a glimmer of hope in the campaign to restore Baldwin Street's world record. Dunedin surveyor Tony Stoff has returned from a whirlwind trip to Wales, where he visited Ford Pen Lek in Harlech, which dethroned Baldwin Street as the world's steepest street in July.
Toby Stoff is a man on a mission to restore Dunedin's Baldwin Street to its rightful place as the world's steepest street. It's a mission which has taken him around the world.
Yeah, no, it was good times, eh? No, it was a classic trip. Yeah, heaps better than I thought it would be. No, I just went over there, blown away by how beautiful it is. Like North Wales is really, really nice. And all those little villages, it's all like, Vicar and Dibley / Dad's Army. It's all really cool. The people are really cool and real friendly.
Stoff's just returned from the UK, where he took the time to visit Wales fully armed with surveying tools when he visited the home of the allegedly steepest street in the world. But he says he's not out to strip Fjord Pen Lek in Harlech of the title.
No, mate, yeah, we're willing to travel halfway around the world, travel 38,000 kilometres just to gather 4 kilobytes of data, you know what I mean, and then model it up ourselves.
But while there, he and a couple of other New Zealanders took their own measurements of the windy lane, and he plans to pass their results on to the authorities.
I think, we'll do left, centre and right. I actually got 38.3% on the inside. They got 37.45, so maybe I'd better just shut my trap, but you know what I mean. We'll average the left, centre and right, but yeah, pretty much we worked out exactly what we thought we would, that we're steeper on average.
Although he's adamant he's not trying to dethrone Fjord Pen Lek, he's planning to compile all of the information and send a new application to Guinness World Records.
Well, look, mate, if Guinness agrees to change the world record or the rules, then all we've got to do is we just got to reapply. So obviously that'll take a bit of money and a little bit of effort. I mean, we've got all the information that we need to prepare the plans and send through the evidence and all that sort of jazz.
He believes the Welsh locals were a bit surprised when a whole bunch of Kiwis turned up and dominated their street for a while, taking measurements of their steepest street in the world.
I don't want to sort of turn over that or attempt to turn over their current world record. I think they should have it for a while because they're so cool, and they're cool village, cool people, and we had a laugh.
In Dunedin, The South Today.
Workers and a large crane have been setting up a protective cover before repairs start on the roof of the Toitu Settlers Museum. The roofing project on the Dunedin Museum started in May and includes the replacement of the roof cladding over some galleries and refixing cladding elsewhere on the roof. The crane was used today to lift scaffolding materials to build the temporary cover to protect the building while the cladding is replaced. This led to some traffic restrictions for southbound traffic, as well as the closure of parts of Toitu. The work has taken longer than initially expected due to the discovery of asbestos which needed to be removed. The project is likely to be completed early next year. Oscar-winning director and explorer James Cameron made a flying visit to Dunedin this weekend. He was in town to view his Challenging the Deep exhibition, which tracks his Titanic journey at the Otago Museum. Cameron owns property in New Zealand and is passionate about the country and environment.
From his Titanic struggles challenging the deep to the global issue of climate change, James Cameron held a capacity audience in the palm of his hand at a talk he gave at the Otago Museum. Away from the talk, he explains there's a bit of difference between the replica submersible in the exhibition and the one he used.
Than the sub that I was in, and I didn't have this nice big hole to get in the side like this. It was a much smaller hatch, about that big. And if I'd gained any weight, this is the hatch, that's the size of the hatch right there.
He's in the city to mark the halfway point of his Otago Museum exhibition, Challenging the Deep. Cameron owns a farm in the Wairarapa and is critical of the environmental impact of farming, saying methane is one of the biggest things we have to wrangle in this country. He's used to crew wrangling and, in the case of the submersible, getting into tight spaces.
So I would come in through, you can see this window is here. So I literally would enter through the hatch that had the window in it.
Earlier in the day, Cameron treated 20 lucky competition winners to a private tour of the exhibition, where he shared anecdotes about his expeditions and movies. In 2012, the acclaimed explorer and innovator became the first person to reach the bottom of the 11-kilometre deep Mariana Trench alone, in the submersible he helped design. As he lives part-time in New Zealand, there's every chance he'll be back. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Power prices could rise by nearly $500 for many Otago households, according to a draft pricing structure that lines company Aurora Energy released today. The proposal outlines a 3-year $400 million program to tackle ageing electricity infrastructure in Dunedin, Central Otago and Queenstown. Aurora Energy Chief Executive Dr. Richard Fletcher says the plan was about prudent investment, which was essential to meet our needs of Aurora customers now and into the future. Residential line charges may increase by $21 per month by 2022 or $252 for the year. Prices could then increase by up to $10 per month in 2023 and 2024 to fund a significant increase in upgrades and maintenance. Lindsay Creek, which runs through the heart of Dunedin's northeast valley, brought its community together over the weekend at Creekfest. The festival is intended to celebrate the stream and educate people about what lives in the waterway.
Otago Fish and Game Council Field Officer Steve Dixon demonstrating the art of electric fishing in Dunedin's Lindsay's Creek, which flows through Northeast Valley. The electric fishing technique temporarily stuns aquatic life, enabling him to study the health of the waterway.
What we use that machine for is to put an electrical current into streams, small streams like this, and we want to see what fish life is in there. So the electrical current from the machine actually stuns the fish. We can pick them up in a small net, put them in a bucket where we can identify them, photograph them, weigh them, and then put them back in the creek again.
Dixon's electric fishing demonstration was just one of the many fun and interesting events at this year's Creekfest held at Chingford Park. Valley Project Manager Tess Trotter says the festival is for everyone in the community to enjoy a day out and learn a bit more about their suburban stream.
Mostly to honour and celebrate the Awa, the Lindsay River that flows through Chingford Park and right down the valley to meet the waters of the Leaf. So lots of people doing education activities, telling people about what the creatures they can find in the creeks, doing a bit of weeding of some of the riparian planting area, and then just music and fun, basically.
Dixon says despite the river's urban environment, it's in a very good state and possesses an abundance of aquatic life.
Lindsay's Creek seems to be really, really healthy. I mean, only electric fish probably about 10 metres square, and we've got about 10 fish, so the creek is looking really, really healthy. We've got yabbies and trout, so if the stream wasn't healthy, you wouldn't have those.
Creekfest is now in its 4th year, and organisers described last weekend's event as the biggest yet. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today. The deaths of 2 Orokonui parrots is linked to human error, and a Wanaka aircraft restoration business restores 4 Beechcraft planes from the 1930s. See you soon.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life. Tuesdays, 7:30.
Larnac Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
No mai nō, welcome back. The deaths of 2 endangered native parrots from Orokonui Eco Sanctuary have been attributed to human error. 2 kaka are believed to have died after ingesting a poison used to kill possums.
Orokonui Eco Sanctuary Conservation Manager Elton Smith carefully carries 2 boxes of very valuable cargo to a good spot for release. Inside each box is an endangered native kaka parrot, ready to be released back into the wild. The birds are 2 of 6 recently captured as a welfare check after 2 other kaka from the sanctuary are suspected to have died from eating possum poison recently.
And we just released 2 kaka. They have been tested negative for poison ingestion, which is good news.
The poison most likely came from a program for killing possums run by the company Osprey in an effort to eradicate bovine tuberculosis from New Zealand. Possums have also been documented raiding nests of native birds, eating eggs and young chicks. Since 2018, Osprey have eliminated more than 20,000 possums from a nearby 12,000 hectare area. The Orokonui Sanctuary has been running a breeding program for kaka, and there are now about a dozen in the area. However, kaka are likely to be just as inquisitive as their closely related cousins, the kea, and they're liable to investigate bait stations loaded with possum poison. Immediately following the deaths of the 2 birds, Osprey removed all toxins from bait stations on both council and private land in the area. The DCC say they're pleased with the speed of Osprey's response to the situation. Formal results from the autopsy on the 2 dead kaka are expected around the end of this week. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A Wanaka aeroplane restoration business has a huge task ahead, restoring a Beechcraft Stagger wing from the 1930s. The biplane is in hundreds of bits and pieces, and the company is the best fit for the job, having already restored 3 others in recent years.
Callum Smith opens up a container containing most of the parts of a historic Beechcraft Staggerwing plane dating back to the 1930s, and it's one of 4 his Wanaka-based company are restoring. Called Staggerwing because the 2 wings aren't vertically aligned, this one served as an air ambulance in New Zealand before later taking a tumble during a landing in the 1970s. The plane's hundreds of bits and pieces have been in storage under a house for the last 40 or so years.
The main fuselage is steel tube, the wings are pretty much all wood, and then you have the wood that covers the fuselage and then the fabric that goes over top of it. All the fairings and cowls, etc. are all aluminium. They were originally made from very soft aluminium, so that's why they tended to get pretty well beaten up.
While they also restore other aircraft, the company have become specialists in restoring Stagger wings and now have 4 in various states of restoration. One of the other ones in their workshop was used 80 years ago by United States Admiral Richard Byrd for his exploration of the Antarctic.
The owners of it are just they want it to be original as it came out of the factory, ready to go to the ice. So that's what we're aiming for. They do a lot of research themselves. They've been to there's a museum in the States dedicated to Admiral Byrd's travels. So they've been there, there is a lot of information available.
Smith says quite a bit of meticulous research is required to restore these aircraft.
Beechcraft were quite good, and when they built an aircraft they kept a file on it, and that had samples of the material they used on the inside of it and a lot of detail which they still have access to. They've been and looked at all that. There's a lot of information, so it's just a matter of gathering it all up and then going through it and figuring out what bits we need.
There are about 60 Stagger wings left in the world, and it's hoped all 4 restored in Wanaka will fly together at the Warbirds Air Show in a few years' time. In Wanaka, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, we catch up with the last of 5 little blue penguins which were covered in oil, and we take a look at the weather. See you soon.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274. If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Thanks for staying with us. The last of 5 little blue penguins taken into care in Oamaru has finally been released. The birds were taken into the Oamaru Blue Penguin Colony's Rehabilitation Centre a month ago, having been found covered in oil.
Enjoying doing laps of the rehabilitation pool at Oamaru's Blue Penguin Colony. This little blue penguin is the last remaining one of 5 found covered in oil earlier last month. On arrival, each of the birds was cleaned for over half an hour using detergent and toothbrushes. The little blue penguins were then slowly introduced to the pool at the rehabilitation centre to induce the birds to begin preening again. With the colony's Science and Environmental Manager Dr. Philippa Agnew releasing this last one yesterday along the rocky shore. She says the Oamaru Blue Penguin Colony found oil in 2 places along the side of the harbour, and the oil has now been contained. Meanwhile, the growth of the penguin colony remains strong, and Sunday saw a record of 337 little blue penguins returning to the colony from their day feeding at sea. In Oamaru, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. It's been an uphill battle, but there's a glimmer of hope in the campaign to restore Baldwin Street's world record. Oscar-winning director and explorer James Cameron made a flying visit to Dunedin this weekend, charming a few people with a private tour. And a festival in Dunedin's North East Valley celebrates the beauty of Lindsay Creek over the weekend. And now look what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. We have Hayden Meikle with us this evening. Kia ora, Hayden.
Evening, Simon. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you doing?
Excellent. Yeah, good. It's a busy day and it's going to be a busy night. So let's see what we've got. The first story is a big one that affects all of us. Everybody's going to be interested in, and it's power prices. So confirmation today that power prices are about to shoot up. I think the average Dunedin household's going to pay about $500 more a year.
Seems like a lot, doesn't it?
That's a big hike. That's going to have huge ramifications for a lot of people, obviously, especially people living below the poverty line or near the poverty line. That's a big jump. So we've got a full exploration tomorrow of how this has happened and why it's happened, and some numbers for people to crunch, basically, because that's what we all want to know. What am I paying this month and what am I going to be paying? So that'll be hugely well read. We've got more on the Barry Clue story, the financial advisor. Obviously, he came out and spoke to us yesterday. We've had a lot of reaction today to that story. Water, so electricity on one hand, water on the other, and it's good news. Dunedin's main water source could actually be up and running sooner rather than later. Obviously, a lot of concern following the Middlemarch fire, so that's good. Song lyrics. Now, I'm not sure if you read today's ODT, Simon. I'm sure you did. There were some very interesting adverts scattered throughout the paper that confused a whole lot of people. We'll be revealing all in tomorrow's ODT. That's all I'm willing to say about that. We've got Invercargill City Council extraordinary meeting. We're not sure why they're meeting. They're meeting right now. That could be something. Right. And Jamie Joseph, obviously the news out last night that Jamie's off to Japan, which is great for Japanese rugby. Some would say great for world rugby, but it's
one less applicant. A
blow to those of us who wanted to see him with the All Blacks. So Steve Hepburn's exploring the big questions, I guess, that we all want to know. Why Jamie, and what does this mean? Does this open the path for an Ian Foster or a Scott Robertson to get the job? And who knows? Jamie's done a great job, and we might see him back in 4 years ready to take that top job with the All Blacks. Fingers crossed.
Thanks, Hayden. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Simon.
And now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with today's southern view, looking across the Otago Museum lawn before the weather turned. Looking at the situation, a cold southwesterly airflow eases tomorrow with showers clearing on Thursday and weather becoming fine. Warmer northwesterly winds are on the way for the end of the week. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are set for grey skies, rain and 13 degrees. Across to the northeast, where Nelson and Blenheim can expect clear blue skies and 19 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, you'll have some cloudy skies and showers across this area. Kaikoura reaches 16 degrees, while Christchurch and Ashburton, both on 14 degrees, see the risk of thunder and lightning. To the southern outlook, Balclutha, the Catlins, Lumsden and Gore can all expect gusty southwesterlies and showers. Each of you are looking at 13 degrees. Up in central, Alexandra, Wanaka and Queenstown are in for moderate southwesterlies with 14 degrees. Te Anau has decreasing southwesterlies and is becoming fine with 13 degrees. To the northern towns, Timaru has variable winds with thunderstorms in 15. Oamaru is in for moderate westerlies and also has some showers with 14 degrees. Twizel and Omarama can expect moderate southwesterlies with some cloud and 14 degrees. In Dunedin, it's cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 6. Fine with sunny periods tomorrow morning, but cloudy in the afternoon. Some showers developing with southwesterly winds becoming fresh and gusty, a high of 11 and a low of 7. Mostly cloudy Thursday with a few scattered light showers at times. It's cold with southwesterlies dying out, a high of 13 and a low of 7. And in Invercargill, showers tonight with fresh, cold southwesterlies and an overnight low of 7 degrees. Showers clearing during the day tomorrow with sunny periods decreasing during the afternoon. And fresh, cold southwesterlies easing slowly, a high of 11 and a low of 6. Showers clearing and becoming fine and sunny on Thursday with cold southwesterly winds dying out, a high of 13 and a low of 5. That's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.